ceremony, color guard, and the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Fine young men and one Girl Scout. So,
audience, please rise. Scout salute.
sorry.
Color guard forward march. Color guard call. Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Two. Scout sign. Please join us in reciting the Scout Word. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to uphold the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, educated, and well-educated. Color guard, post the flag of the United States. Color guard, post the flag of the great state of Pennsylvania. Color guard dismissed.
Great job, guys. So you have my permission to leave whenever you need to. Stay as long as you need to for your badge. They had a meeting with me for a half an hour before just to talk about how local government works and what we do and how it gets done. Some very interesting questions. We'll have some future leaders there. So thank you guys. Like I said, when you leave, there's cookies in there. Feel free to take them. I didn't want you to be all sugared up out here. All right. So announcements. Let's see what we've got. As we work to create a more sustainable and environmentally friendly community, we're considering a ban on single-use plastics. Take a moment to share your thoughts and opinions by completing our quick survey. Your input is valuable to us as we make decisions about the future of our community. Links to both the residential and business surveys are available at monttownship.org/SUP. The surveys are open until March 31st, 2023. Also, join our Kids University team this summer to create an unforgettable experience for the children of Montgomery Township. Engage in activities such as sports, arts and crafts, counselor challenges, field trips, swimming, and more. We are hiring for the following positions as well: camp counselor, senior camp counselor, camp director, camp first aid director. For more information and apply, go on our website and you'll find the info. Montgomery Township Community and Recreation Center is seeking vendors for the upcoming Spring Craft Fair on March 25th. Again, for information, visit montcrc.com. Our next item is public comment. Is there any public comment for any items that are not listed on the agenda? If so, please come forward, use the microphone, state your name and address for the record. No public comment. Announcement of executive session. Carolyn, I'm sorry.
Good evening. The Board of Supervisors met in executive session on Monday, February 6th at 5:15 p.m. to discuss a personnel matter. The topic discussed is a legitimate subject of an executive session pursuant to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Sunshine Law.
Thank you so much. And then we are going to move ahead with our consent agenda. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented for the following: the minutes of the January 23rd, 2023 board meeting, payment of bills for February 13th, 2023, and escrow release number 3 for the Meadows at Parkview at the Enclave of Montgomery.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public comment? All right, here's what everybody's been waiting for. Introduction of new police canines. J. Scott Bendick.
Good evening. It's my honor this evening to introduce our 2 newest canines to our canine unit. Our first canine is Officer Tim Woke and his canine Dante. Dante actually finished training in September. Dante is a 1.5-year-old Belgian Malinois. Actually, is trained in patrol and drug detection as well. Our second canine is Officer Drew Haber and canine Riggs. Riggs completed canine school in October of this year, and he is a 1.5-year-old German Shepherd Belgian Malinois mix. Each of these handlers went through an 8-week school for training in North Carolina, and then actually had another 2-week training in-house in Montgomery Township with Bob Hart, one of our retired officers who's a USPCA trainer. And we just thought this would be an opportune time this evening to introduce our 2 newest canines to the municipality and to our residents and supervisors. So I'd like to welcome them both and possibly get a photograph with the board when the board's ready.
So are they working full-time now? They're out?
They are out and about, doing very well.
Excellent.
You said yes.
Well, I
Very,
have
very willing for
treats.
attention, looking for attention. So
Let's get treats.
Yeah, it was like down here. Down there, yeah, slide it a little bit. Shot here. It's getting a little bit tighter here. A little bit. Three, two, one. All right, not good looking. We're good. Sorry, you got You're forever down the street.
I'm still in favor of having a therapy dog.
And you know what my
Take 'em.
question is?
Yeah, take them.
Who's going to take care of it on nights and weekends?
I know. Oh.
All right. Thank you for that. So exciting. All right, item number 9, Veterans of Foreign Wars Firefighter of the Year Award. And that will be Chief Wegman.
Good evening. Thanks for having us and the fire department here. Tonight, we want to honor a very special member of the fire department of Montgomery Township. So firefighter Grummeyer, if you could come up to the front of the room, please. I don't want to steal all of the Veteran of Foreign Wars presentation. They're going to present Bob with the Pennsylvania State Veterans of Foreign Wars Firefighter of the Year Award. But we are lucky in Montgomery Township to have Bob as a member of the FDMT. Bob brings with him 40 years of firefighting and leadership experience. He was the executive director of the Bucks County Public Safety Training Center, where he took Bucks County from a small community college to a world-renowned fire training center. And Bob has been all over the world conducting fire training. A couple weeks ago, he did forcible entry training for our police department. And I would like to ask the members of the Veteran of Foreign Wars to come forward.
Right here.
Mhm.
My name is John Ott. I'm a firefighter for the fire department in Montgomery Township, and this is along here side of me. Here is the former state commander. His name is Nathaniel Smith. He was he's also the one who issued the award of firefighter of the year to Bob. And I would just like to read the awards committee recommendation, if I may. It is recommendation and endorsement of Robert H. Grummeyer II for Firefighter of the Year. Dear Safety Awards Committee, I'm very proud and honored to present and endorse Chalfont's Post 3258 candidate for Firefighter of the Year award, Mr. Robert Grummeyer, the Calmer Volunteer Fire Company. Mr. Grummeyer has a long, rich history of public and community service that spans over 4 years of volunteer and professional experience, as 4 decades of faithful service, includes 20 years as a local fire chief of a volunteer department. Although his work as a volunteer is exemplary, his 20 plus years of professional experience as the executive director of the Bucks County Public Safety Training Center has greatly improved the training capability and readiness of both volunteer and career fire rescue departments worldwide. Mr. Grummeyer is known internationally for his compassionate leadership and instructional style in fire and rescue sciences. He's an incredible leader. He really is. A mentor and influencer to over 10,000 firefighters, emergency medical technicians, technical rescuers across the globe. During his volunteer career, he personally responded to over 15,000 calls of emergency services. That may be a little light, right, Bob? As a firefighter, emergency medical technician, and as a chief level officer. His dedication to the men and women in the emergency services that sought his professional training has earned him the title of the go-to person in just about any topic of the fire service. Mr. Grummeyer is an incredibly humble and passionate leader that cares immensely for his supervisors, peers, and subordinates alike. He is simply one of the best and the best in of his craft. In closing, I think no better public servant than Mr. Robert Grummeyer II to receive the honor and distinction of Firefighter of the Year for the Veterans of Foreign Wars. His selfless devotion to duty brings great credit upon himself, his department, and the emergency services discipline. Thank you for your consideration. This was signed by the post commander of Chalfont Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 3258. And now I'm going to introduce Nathaniel Smith, the former state commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the state of Pennsylvania.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It is both an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening. And what makes everything great is when I get an opportunity to award our heroes. And when I say heroes, you know, we talk about military. I represent 65,000 veterans of foreign wars in the state of Pennsylvania. And it's an honor to do that. And it's amazing. It's a one opportunity in a lifetime that I get to do that. And what makes it even better is when I come here and I honor this comrade here, this firefighter that has done so many things for this township, okay, and the firefighters. So without further ado, I'm going to ask you to step over here, Bob. Okay, so everybody can see it. Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. Certificate of Appreciation awarded to Robert L. Grummeyer II, VFW Firefighter of the Year Award, Colmer Volunteer Fire Company, and special recognition and highest praise for alertness, personal courage, and ever-efficient guardianship of life and property. In witness thereof, we have hereunto set our hands on the official seal of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States this 3rd day of October, 2022. Signed by yours truly, countersigned by John Ott, District 8, Vice Commander. Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Clap my hands and get their names for these.
Great job.
You can shine my shoes because I didn't have to give a presentation. Yeah, let's kind of present between Montgomery Township and Montgomery. So, yeah, we'll slide it a little bit. Yep, close to the goal. That's a good shot right there.
You get his shoes, they're all shine.
Good shot. Guys, 3, 2, 1. A few more here. I'm good.
Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
You know what? That's the only thing I didn't do is be a firefighter. You look good. All right.
These kids are gonna think all we do is pose for pictures.
I know, that's all we do. So we do have a motion. I'm going to read that. I'm going to move to recognize firefighter Robert Grunmeyer II for being awarded the 2022 Firefighter of the Year by the Department of Pennsylvania Veterans of Foreign Wars. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you again for being the go-to. All right, we'll give a minute for the door to shut. Okay, Boy Scouts, wake up. Come on now. So this is the time where we talk about public safety items. Next thing on our agenda is a resolution to extend participation in the Wissahickon Clean Water Partnership Intergovernmental Agreement. Carolyn McCreary, our Township Manager.
Thank you. The municipalities located in the Wissahickon Creek watershed are obligated under the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection's programs to meet our obligations in keeping the waterways of that particular watershed clean. In 2016, US EPA was poised to issue a new TMDL limit for us. As you know, we entered into a partnership along with other municipalities and 4 wastewater treatment plants. In 2021, we extended the resolution so that we could keep participating in the planning as the regulators review our documents. The board extended the time frame with that resolution, and tonight I am here to extend it further to the end of 2023 or 90 days after final approval of the document that we have submitted to PADEP.
Okay, any questions? I'm going to move to adopt resolution number 2023-03, extending the township's participation in the Wissahickon Clean Water Partnership by renewing the intergovernmental agreement.
Second.
Is there any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we are going to Pennsylvania Office of the State Fire Commissioner Grant Awards. Boy Scouts, remember we were talking about grants, how they're free money. So this is going to be, again, Chief Wegman talking to us about a grant.
Thank you. This year, the Department of Fire Services and the Fire Department of Montgomery Township applied for the 2022-2023 Pennsylvania Office of State Fire Commissioner Grant. We were notified on January 31st that both entities received the full amount of grant funding, $15,000 per entity. So the township received $30,000 in total. This grant was written for the purchase of new high-pressure lifting rescue bags that we keep on our apparatus and to replace our aging rescue equipment. The grants will have a positive impact on both the DFS and the FDMT budgets, and it is the recommendation of staff that the Board of Supervisors approve the PA Office of State Fire Commissioner Grant Awards of $15,000 for the DFS and the FDMT.
So for us and for the Boy Scouts, what exactly are we using the money for?
So on the fire trucks, we have these, they look like pillows that you inflate with air, and we use them to lift cars or cinder blocks or heavy equipment. So the bags that we currently have are at the end of their life cycle. They cost around $50,000 for about $25,000 a truck. Firefighting equipment is very expensive. But these will be used to help lift things that are heavy and somebody could be trapped or need rescue.
Thank you. Excellent explanation. I'm going to move to approve the PA Office of State Fire Commissioner Grant Awards of $15,000 to the Department of Fire Services and Fire Department of Montgomery Township. Any public comment? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. More fire news, Chief Wegman. Painting of the interior of Battalion 2 Firehouse. Again, boys, these are the things that we just have to discuss and decide to spend money on or not, keeping the firehouse in nice condition. He'll give us more details.
The fire department allocated $27,000 for the painting of the interior and exterior of the Battalion 2 Firehouse in this year's capital budget. The department obtained 5 quotes from local painting companies for the painting of the interior of Battalion 2. Those quotes ranged from $8,500 to about $20,000. So the department would like to move forward with the painting of the interior Battalion 2 for $8,500 from Color House Painters. It is the recommendation of staff that the Board of Supervisors authorize Color House Painters to paint the interior of the Battalion 2 Firehouse for $8,500.
So guys, he said we had to get 5 quotes from local painters. The government is not allowed to just give Uncle Joe the painting job. So we have to get 5 people to come in and tell us how much they would charge. We look at all of that and we choose the most reasonable, responsible bidder. It might not always be the cheapest one, but it's usually never the most expensive one. But we have to do that. Any questions?
I just want to make sure that we have looked at the type of paint that they're using, durability, cleanup, that kind of thing.
Yes, all of the painters that we interviewed are used Sherman-Williams paint. They're going to use moisture blocking paint in the bathrooms. They're going to prime first, spackle, repair everything that needs to be repaired. The Color House Painters said it would take them about 10 days to complete the job. And that was pretty much the same for the 5 companies that we got quotes from. They also put in writing that if we're not happy with the amount of coats of paint, that they would do more, and there'd be no change order unless there's significant damage to the drywall that they found. But they came out, took measurements, took pictures, and saw everything. No,
Yeah.
the
This
reason
amount is both?
no, this is just for the interior. The quote we got last year, I got 1 quote when I was preparing our budget, and it was like $22,000 to do the interior of Battalion 2. So I thought that was the number we were going to be kind of working with. And then when we had the 5 painters came out, and they were between 8,500, 9,000, 12,000, 17,000, and then 20,000. Brian and Greg and I talked, and we thought, let's get the interior done, and then we'll have those companies come back and requote us for the exterior, and maybe do the exterior of both battalions if the money is still in the budget, because Battalion 1 Firehouse was painted 2 years ago.
Everybody good? I'm going to move to authorize Color House Painters to paint the interior of Battalion 2 Firehouse for $8,500.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Another thing of interest for you guys, we get to buy drones. I'm sure you all know what drones are. So we're going to get to buy some to use in emergencies. Maybe it's safer to send a drone up on top of an accident or a fire, or we need to get pictures. So again, Chief Wegman's going to tell us about that, but that's a really interesting, fun thing that we get to do. It's not a toy. We won't get to use it, but they will.
Montgomery Township Office of Emergency Management is seeking the Board of Supervisors approval to purchase 2 drones and to host the necessary training to begin a drone program in the township. Emergency management staff has been researching various drone programs over the last year. The chief, Carolyn, and I went up to the county and saw their resources, and most recently I met with the county so that if we do receive authorization to start the drone program, we can be absorbed by the county program as well. So they'll provide the software, additional trainings. It's actually a really good partnership for us. We can operate under their certificate of authority to fly. So the county and us will work together with this project. The county drone team recommended that we purchase our drones from B&H, which is located in New York City. And that we work with the University of Delaware for the beginning initial training, which is ground school and FAA Part 107 test preparation training. So everyone who goes, the 25 students who are made up of all departments in the township, as well as the FDMT, once they go through this class, they'll be able to sit for their licensure testing with the FFA so that they can fly unmanned, untethered aircraft. So we did allot $25,000 in our capital investment plan for the township's newly created drone program. The cost of the 2 drones is around $12,000, and the cost of the 25 students to attend the University of Delaware Drone School that we'll be hosting at Battalion 1 is $9,200. Staff from various township departments and the FDMT will attend the ground school. The total estimated cost of the equipment and training is $21,355, and there will be some additional cost for everyone to take the test, which is $175 a person, and then $5 a person for their operator's license. So the estimated cost for the test and the licenses is about $4,500 if all students take the test, which is the goal. The total cost for the startup of the drone program is $25,855. It is the recommendation of staff that the Board of Supervisors authorize the purchase of 2 drones from B&H and the required training through the University of Delaware for a cost of $21,355. It is further recommended that the Board of Supervisors authorize the purchase of FAA testing and drone licenses for a cost of $4,500. The total cost of the project is $25,855.
Sounds very interesting. Anybody have any questions?
I was just curious of the capabilities of the drone. Are there any special capabilities that would assist in locating individuals or persons?
So the drones that we're looking to purchase are kind of the middle of the road drone. It's not your drone that you would have at your house, and it's not one of these really expensive $30,000 drones. But it does have thermal imaging, FLIR imaging. They do not have spotlights, just because the spotlights get mounted on top. So I didn't think that that would be a good option for us. But they have a camera, 4K camera, and the really nice thing about these drones and being with the county software is that once the drone goes up, we can send a link out to anybody to watch the drone from a device or their computer. So if we were operating on the fire scene and the shift commander showed up from the police, we could give him the link and he would be able to see the camera imaging, the FLIR imaging, the thermal imaging. So it has a lot of applications for all departments, not just emergency management.
What's the FLIR imaging?
It's like thermal imaging, but it shows different colors of body temperature. So there's a thermal camera and then a FLIR camera. It just shows that it's not good for me because I'm colorblind, but for other people it works out really nicely. But it's the same technology.
Great.
So this is the startup of it. What's the life expectancy of a drone?
Around 5 to 8 years, as long as we don't crash them. But Divot has insurance,
For the training?
right? And we'll be doing a lot of training. And again, pairing with the county, they track all our flight hours. They allow us to upload the flight plan. So we won't be doing this on our own. We'll have their system. And then they have offered to come down. And so the thing about this training is there's no real drone flying. It's all the rules and expectations but the county offers training and then they'll come down and do training for us. So the
Great.
batteries are the yearly cost. Like we'll have to purchase probably batteries every year as part of our operational funding. They're about $200 a piece.
So that's a new budget item then.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, $200 a piece. And how many do you need every year?
Probably 4. I would think 4 would be one in the drone.
Not a big budget impact.
No. It'll just be the capital replacement of the equipment. And if we get bigger and better, if we stay with what we have or whatever happens with that.
All
So
right.
when the boys join Montgomery Township, maybe they can be drone flyers, right?
Absolutely.
Anybody have a drone at home?
Oh,
See,
see that?
they're already probably better than you guys. All right. I'm going to move to authorize the purchase of 2 drones from B&H and the required training through the University of Delaware for a total cost of $25,855.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
I
Okay, great. Another new fun thing that we're going to replace. Authorization to purchase replacement speed trailer. That would be J. Scott Bendig, Chief of Police. Is this like the one we see on Gray's Lane that my kids used to try to speed by on their bike and see the numbers?
But
Same.
much newer, much newer. I can tell you that. So, yes, this year we're looking to replace our 18-year-old speed trailer. So, that was a custom speed trailer that we purchased. I believe it was under a grant. We are proposing to purchase a Speed Alert 24 radar message sign trailer. In addition to us providing alerts to speeding vehicles, the unit can also be utilized to gather speed data and also serve as a message board. There's a quote attached to the BAS dated January 30th from All Traffic Solutions, an authorized vendor under the CoStar's purchasing program.
Hold on. Boy Scouts, remember how I said we had to buy things from certain places in the state? This is one of those. CoStar's Cooperative Purchase Program. They are giving us some sort of a discount. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Still kind of expensive though. It's $17,365 this machine. So we put up aside $18,000 was included in the capital replacement under the police department's final budget to replace this speed trailer. It is recommended the board approves the awarding of this contract for the purchase of this equipment.
Any questions? Okay. I'm going to move to award the contract for the purchase of a Speed Alert 24 radar message sign trailer from All Traffic Solutions, an authorized vendor under the CoStar's Cooperative Purchase Program, at a total cost of $17,365 per their quote.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, boys, now we're going into Public Works. These are the guys who take care of all of our roads, parks, snow plowing. See that? Mr. Reef, he's in charge of all that. So I'm going to throw this one to him. Authorization to bid curbing and handicap ramp work for 2023 road projects.
Good evening. It's been the past practice in Montgomery Township to repair and replace concrete curbing and handicap ramps. It was included in the 2023 capital investment plan. Competitive bids will be sought utilizing Penn Bid website to generate greater participation of bidders. This project was included in 2023 capital investment plan for the repair and replacement of concrete curbing and handicap ramps. So at this time, it would be our recommendation to the Board of Supervisors to approve the authorization for the advertisement of the bid.
Okay, boys, so we talked about this one too. We have to use certain people, so we have to go out to bid for this. Again, we can't just call Uncle Joe and give him the job. So we're gonna put it on this government website, and we're gonna say, here's what we need done. Please send us your report on how much it will cost. And we look through all of those, and then we, with our finance person over there, looking very, very strongly over those figures. Brian, he's taken all the numbers in, so we would then look at those quotes and make that decision. Any questions? I'm going to move to authorize the advertisement of the bid for curbing and handicap ramp work for 2023 road projects utilizing Penn Bid.
Second.
Any public comment? Yes.
Great.
Microphone. Thank you. Name and address.
Sorry, Vince Tullio, Annette's husband, 101 Glasgow Circle. Wouldn't it be great to get the Boy Scouts involved in some of the public works projects that the township has going out this year, and possibly they would get a merit badge? Just
Could
recommendation.
certainly look into it. Yep,
Recommendation.
absolutely.
That's all.
Yep. You guys should have left while you could. It's okay.
We can always use a hand.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, another one in Public Works, going to Greg for authorization to bid in-place paving for 2023 road projects. So boys, every year we have a list of roads in the township that are going to get repaved so everything stays in good shape. So here's what Greg is going to say about that.
So included in the capital investment plan are roads which are scheduled to be resurfaced as a part of the township's road improvement plan, which is attached in the packet. Contractors' bids will be solicited, again, utilizing the Penn Bid website. This project was included in the 2023 capital investment plan. So again, we would ask you to authorize the advertisement of the bid.
Great, same thing. We're going to put this out on the website, and we're going to see who would like to do this job for us and how much they would charge us. And then we'll look at all those bids and we'll make a decision. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to move to authorize the advertisement of the 2023 curb in-place paving bid utilizing Penn Bid.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Authorization to advertise bid for Richardson Road Culvert Project. Carolyn McCreary, Township Manager.
Thank you. In keeping with the theme for this evening of putting things out to bid for projects that the township has lined up for 2023, the scope of this work includes replacing the deteriorated pipe, installing a new concrete head wall and end wall, and installing riprap on the stream bed floor around the end wall. We'll also need to replace the driveway and restore the property at 100 County Line Road as part of this project, and Public Works has been in contact with the property owner. So we have included $345,000 in our capital investment plan, which was part of the adopted 2023 budget. And tonight we are recommending that the board authorize the advertisement of the bid. And if I could just add on, one of the reasons we're doing it so early is we are hoping that contractors will sharpen their pencils, give us better pricing. And also, we don't know with the labor market and also with the supply chain issues for things that have to be ordered for a project, where things will stand. So we want to move sooner rather than later.
So guys, this is a big project, $345,000. You could get a house for that. Just so you know, this is a lot of money. So we have to be really careful when we make this kind of decision. Anybody have any questions?
And this will be on pen bid as well, Carolyn?
Yes, it will.
I'm going to move to authorize the advertisement of the bid for the Richardson Road Culvert Project.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Authorization to advertise bid for demolition of structures at Zaire Tract, Carolyn McCreary Township Manager.
Thank you. As part of our due diligence, the township staff and the township engineer visited the Zaire property, and we identified structures that need to be addressed through demolition and then removal of the construction debris. Included are the in-ground pool, the main house, a small garage, a large garage with a workshop, a small garage area with an old furnace, and removal of an old electrical transformer. There are also 3 smaller structures on the site that would be included. Per the engineer's recommendation, we included $500,000 in our capital investment plan, and we are recommending that the Board of Supervisors authorize the advertisement of the bid as soon as it is available for the removal of those structures.
So guys, we acquired this property and it has a house, a pool, a garage. It's in terrible condition. We can't leave it the way it is. Kids would break in, somebody would get hurt. So again, we're going to spend some money on it to take it all down, and hopefully someday we're going to have a nice park there or something. And that was part of what we talked about as our ongoing goals of the township, is to have more grass, more open space. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to move to authorize the advertisement of the bid for the demolition of the identified structures at the Zaire Tract.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. Authorization to advertise bid for the purchase and installation of rectangular rapid flashing beacons. Carolyn McCreary. So guys, these are the beacons that will be flashing when you're trying to cross the street going to the park. So again, we're keeping the streets safe for people to cross. So that's what we're talking about when we say flashing beacons. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Thank you. So that's correct. You'll approach the crosswalk to go to the park. You will push the button, and then immediately a light will go on to the road, alerting drivers not just of the crosswalk that they're approaching, but that there are potentially people in it. It's a much safer option. And this came about as a result of a resident reaching out to the township and asking us if we could look at installing pedestrian crossings at Spring Valley Drive and Upper State Road. And then we also looked at Windlestray Park. So our traffic engineer looked at it, our Public Works Department looked at it, police officers who were from the Highway Safety Unit weighed in on it, and then we came to the conclusion that this would be the best option. So tonight we are asking the board to authorize the advertisement of the bid. The estimated cost of the project is $492,144. However, we were fortunate enough to be one of 5 communities that was awarded a grant from the County Transportation Program, the only township this year, and in the amount of $271,072.
So again, guys, we're going to do a big project, but we're getting $271,000 from the county towards this. So it's a pretty good grant. Anybody have any questions? Going to move to authorize the advertisement of the purchase and installation of rectangular rapid flashing beacons and pedestrian improvements at the entrance to Spring Valley and Windlestray Parks.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Here's a good one. You guys are going to love it. Request authorization to purchase a TV 450B compact track loader and attachments. Greg Reef, tell us what this is for the boys.
So basically, it's a skid loader with tracks.
What do we use it for?
We use it for different road paving projects. So it'll have a milling head. We use the forks on the front for lifting things kind of like a forklift. We're also going to be using it within the parks. It has a bucket with a grapple so we can grab logs and brush when we're cleaning up debris from trees that have come down. Snow removal, so it'll have a snow blower, and it'll also have a pusher box. So it'll be good for plowing snow in the parking lots. I think that pretty much covers
Great.
it, but yeah, it'll be a versatile piece of
And we don't
equipment.
have visuals to show. You probably like this piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Anybody have one of these at home?
Okay, so in 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to purchase a skid loader to replace a 2001 Case 90XT skid loader. Staff is proposing to purchase one 2023 Case TV 450B compact track loader with attachments as approved in the 2023 capital investment plan. Attached is a quote dated January 13th, 2023 from Eagle Power and Equipment, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchasing Program, to provide the requested equipment at a total cost of $168,071. The equipment meets the specifications prepared by the department. Budget impact, a total of $170,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan to purchase the skid loader with attachments. So it would be our recommendation that the Board of Supervisors approves the purchase per the 2023 capital investment plan.
Cool. So guys, we're replacing one that we bought in 2001. So it lasted for 22 years. Will it still work or will we sell the old one?
We're going to sell that one on municipal bid
Okay.
with the attachments that we have.
So it's a really lot of money, but we take care of our things and we should make sure they're maintained so they last us a long time. Any questions?
Greg, is this in inventory currently or?
Yes, we are currently using that right now. And we would use that up until, oh, do they
The
have
new- I
that?
meant the new one.
No. That's one of the reasons why we want to get this on the agenda as early as we can. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for that to come in.
Do we think it's likely to happen in 2023 or are we looking at 2024?
I think it'll be 2023. The last time we talked to them over at Case, they were kind of thinking we may have it within I'm going to say 3 to 4 months,
Wow.
but there's no guarantees on that.
Okay.
This has been an ongoing issue for us in ordering any kind of equipment, trucks, vehicles. There's supply chain shortages aplenty out there. And so everything is very slow in being delivered. And sometimes they cancel orders on us and we have to go through this process all over again.
And the thing costs more this time.
A lot more.
Yeah. Well, here's to hoping that we get it. I'm going to move to approve the purchase of one 2023 Case TV 450 with attachments from Eagle Power and Equipment, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchase Program at a total cost of $168,071 per their quote dated January 13th, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We're almost done, guys. We're also going to request authorization to purchase a zero-turn mower, another cool thing that keeps your parks as beautiful as you like them so that you can play sports. Another one for Greg, Director of
Correct.
Public Works.
Okay, in 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to purchase a new zero-turn mower to replace a 2009 Kubota ZD 331 tractor. Staff is proposing to purchase one Toro Z Master 7500 series zero-turn mower as approved in the 2023 capital investment plan. Attached is a quote dated January 13th of 2023 from Turf Equipment and Supply, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchase Program, to provide the requested equipment at a total of $29,911.30. The equipment meets the specifications prepared by the department. A budget impact, a total of $30,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan to purchase the zero-turn mower. So it would be our recommendation at this time that the Board of Supervisors approves the purchase of the 2023 purchase of the 2023 capital investment plan. The purchase of the mower.
Anybody have any questions? I'm going to move to approve the purchase of one 2023 Toro Z Master 7500 series, model number 72076, zero-turn mower from Turf Equipment and Supply Company, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchase Program at a total cost of $29,911.30 per their quote dated January 13th, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Here's another one that keeps your parks in such great condition. We're awarding a bid for the purchase of an infield groomer. Do tell.
Okay. So at the November 28th, 2022 meeting, the Board of Supervisors authorized staff to prepare and advertise a bid for a new zero-turn infield groomer for the township's parks. In 2022, the Public Works Department was scheduled to replace a 2003 Smithco Super Rake, which is used to maintain the township's baseball infields. The budgeted cost in the capital plan is $30,000. The township utilized Penn bids for this bid. The bid was made public on January 11th, 2023, with a submission date of January 27th of 2023. A total of 6 companies downloaded the bid documents. However, only one company submitted a bid. Lawn and Golf Supply Company submitted a bid for $29,943. Which includes an ABI zero-turn infield groomer with attachments. The vendor submitted all required bid documents. A total of $30,000 was included in the capital investment plan to purchase a replacement zero-turn infield groomer. So it is recommended that the Board of Supervisors awards the bid to Lawn and Golf Supply Incorporated for the purchase of an ABI zero-turn infield groomer.
Any guess as to why only one bidder?
That's a pretty specialized piece of equipment. To my knowledge, there's only one other company. Toro just came out with one this year. Why they didn't bid, I'm not sure. But as far as this piece of equipment goes, I would say it's kind of what we were looking for.
Okay.
So.
Anybody have any questions?
So we have no issues just because one company put in the bid. There's nothing that.
I don't. When I checked out pricing, Toro's prices were generally a little bit higher than what this came in at. Again, I don't know why they didn't put in a bid on that.
Well, maybe they just don't have it.
That,
Who knows?
that could very well be. They may not have been able to meet the
Right.
requirements of the bid.
Mhm.
Okay, as long as we think it's a fair price.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to move to award the bid for an ABI zero-turn infield groomer in the amount of $29,943 to Lawn and Golf Supply Company Incorporated. Is there a second?
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
So guys, while you're still here, we vote. There's 5 of us and everyone has agreed on everything tonight. Sometimes everyone doesn't agree. Someone could say nay. They wouldn't say no, they would say nay. And then we would write down who voted yes and who voted no. So we don't always agree. But tonight, these are all things that pretty much have been decided before in the budget and we're just finalizing how to get them. Request authorization to purchase a Proteus Light portable system pipe camera. Greg Beef. Guys, this is how that we're going to have a camera to look in the sewer now. How about that?
Yep, and all the storm sewer pipes.
Mhm.
In 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to purchase a new Proteus Light portable crawler system pipe camera as approved in the 2023 capital investment plan. This camera will be used for inspecting possible deterioration of pipes throughout the township, improving accuracy and efficiency in determining if a pipe will need to be replaced. Attached is a quote dated January 18th of 2023 from Vortec Industries, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchasing Program to provide the requested equipment at a total of $59,140. The equipment meets the specifications prepared by the department. A total of $55,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan to purchase a new Proteus Light portable crawler system pipe camera. So it would be our recommendation that the Board of Supervisors approves the purchase per the 2023 capital investment plan.
Anybody have any questions?
Maybe,
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
let's say maybe Greg can tell the boys why things deteriorate down there.
So a lot of our infrastructure is aging. So a lot of our developments are older. So as the developments get older, when they first put the pipes in, a lot of times they use corrugated metal, and those pipes over time do deteriorate, they rust. Then the pipe camera is going to help us identify if a pipe needs to be replaced. Sometimes we can patch it with different sleeves. Sometimes you can put a liner in it. But these are all things like in the past that we would either have to dig up, we would have to rent a camera or borrow a camera. So these are all things like with us having it, we're going to be able to go out and check our infrastructure on a more regular, I'm going to say a regular basis for us. Same way with going out to all the different developments.
So the sewer authority also uses these kind of cameras, and it's interesting because some of the infrastructure underneath us belongs to the sewer authority, and some of it belongs to the township.
Yep.
And I'm curious to know, Greg, did you consult with the sewer authority? Because I know they have a lot of these and use them more regularly. So did you consult with them on the purchase and the requirements of the equipment? Because I'm familiar with this as the liaison, that they
Yep.
come with different capabilities of being able to go in and around corners and up above, navigate over lips and ledges.
Yeah, we had talked to Keith at the sewer authority that uses theirs on a regular basis. Ours isn't quite as elaborate as what they have, but it's going to fit the needs of what we needed to do. But yes, long story short, yes, we did consult with them.
Great.
Awesome. Any questions? I'm going to move to approve the purchase of one Proteus Light portable crawler system from Bortech Industries, an authorized vendor under the CoStarz Cooperative Purchase Program, at a total cost of $59,140 per their quote dated January 18th, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Last thing is the purchase of a narrow snow broom attachment. Also, Greg.
Okay. So in 2023, the Public Works Department is scheduled to purchase a new Ventrac broom as approved in the 2023 capital investment plan. Attached is a quote dated January 13th of 2023 from Ventrac to provide the requested equipment at a total cost of $5,924.10. The equipment meets the specifications prepared by the department. A total of $6,000 was included in the 2023 capital investment plan for the purchase of the Ventrac broom. So it would be our recommendation that the Board of Supervisors approves the purchase of the 2023 capital investment plan.
And this is kind of a snow broom thing for sidewalks.
It's going to be used for sidewalks for snow. We can use it on the walking trails sometimes where we get slippery spots where algae grows. If you have water running across some of the trails, we'll be able to use it for washouts wherever we have stone that may come over in some of our parking lots and walking trails as well. So primarily snow, but you can use it for a lot of different things.
Great. Anybody have any questions? Boys?
They're almost ready for their test,
ready.
right?
We're having a test. I'm going to move to approve the purchase of one Ventrac broom at a total cost of $5,924.10 per their quote dated January 13th, 2023.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. So that concludes all of our purchasing for tonight. We're going to talk about some new business, which would be Autumn Festival, volunteer committee vacancies, and then we'll be done. So if you want to go, you can go. We probably have another 10 minutes worth of talking, so entirely up to you guys. And if you had any other questions, you could certainly ask us.
Thank you so much for your time tonight, and thank you for allowing us to come speak for you. We really enjoyed it.
It was our pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Thanks for coming, and come back anytime. Yeah, the cookies are in there. You can take those cookies with you.
How many cookies did we take?
You can have all of them. Just take them and share them. That was fun. All right, so new business. We're going to have a discussion about Autumn Fest.
So we are scheduled to have a staff meeting later this week to discuss Autumn Fest, planning for this year's event. And I had in a couple of ideas, and I wanted to talk to the board first before I raise them with the staff. Currently, we have an Autumn Festival committee that really is a function of Autumn Festivals past, in terms of the volunteering. You know, our meetings have been pretty much staff updated the committee on what we were doing and got feedback and then moved on again. It really was, all honesty, a really staff-driven event last year. So I had an idea that because we have so many different stations and so many different things going on at the same time, maybe expanding the role of, instead of a committee, actually seeking out volunteers. You know, do you want to help with setup? Do you want to help with cleanup? Do you want to help with the parking lot? Do you want to help with the scarecrows, with the pumpkins? And having like a master sign-in sheet, which can be done electronically now, because I've signed up for things that way. And then the idea being many hands make light work. So if you only have an hour to give us, we can plug you in where we need it. And you can see how many people we think we need for each event. And as people are signing up, then you can see in real time how many we still need, because it's a lot of work. It's, you know, having the fireworks, which we're hoping we can do again this year, but staff really needs to focus on things like the fundraising for the sponsorships. And before I talk to the staff, I wanted to see what the board's thought was. I don't just want to disband a committee, especially if the board is invested in it, but I just think it's sort of outlived its purpose with the way we're doing Autumn Fest now. Between, you know, we're very fortunate that we have the emergency service providers we do. Chief Wegman, Chief Ben, you know, they handled everything on their end, especially with doing the fireworks, the safety of the parking lot and the way people were coming in and the way we had the vendors roll up. You know, Deb was involved with it. You know, we had them pull in, drop their things off, you know, park their car and then come back. And we had volunteers there to help them get to their tables. That worked really well, but it was also very stressful for Angelina, for Derek. And I just wanted to come up with some ways that we can sort of make it easier. We do have in the budget to look at hiring an events person, but that person's going to be brand new. And it's not going to be fair to say, here's this, and we have some new ideas, run with it. Plus, we don't know what we're going to find when we put the ad out and who's going to want to work in terms of that position and wages and things like that. So this event is in my mind, our gift to our community. I would like to see if at all possible, we can keep it free moving forward, because we don't run a lot of events and it would be great. And everybody commented on it. Maybe we scale back on some things budget wise. Like this one was our first one after the pandemic. So we went really above and beyond with the number of rides we had for kids. But if we really want to make it a true Autumn Fest, a lot of the things that we do traditionally don't involve as much money. I just think we need to sort of reevaluate. But before I talk too much with the staff and get their hopes up, I wanted to talk to the board and get some feedback as well.
I mean, I feel like the Autumn Fest committee has struggled for years. It's nearly impossible to get volunteers to even come to the meetings. And then on the day of, they're not there. So it is all falling to the township staff, which is great. So I'm kind of with you. I'm not sure we need a full-blown Autumn Fest committee that's going to try to meet, and they just don't.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that, you know, it's great to have the community engaged in helping to, you know, provide ideas for the event. But I think there are probably other ways that we can gather that kind of input and feedback without having to have a formal committee that meets regularly. And again, to Candace's point, we've historically had a really difficult time actually getting people to volunteer for that committee because it's a working committee, and people don't want to work, they don't want to invest that much time, and I understand that, and time is, a precious commodity. But I would think as long as staff isn't feeling overburdened by the event, that having it just become staff driven, it just seems more workable to me.
I'd also like to look at the idea of even engaging our various committees to say, would you be willing to come out as a group and work at the pumpkin patch, or, instead, because I especially like the Park and Rec Committee. I mean, this is our biggest park. It's a shiny example of, the success we have with our parks and with the program we're able to run in them. I just think, these are committees that some meet monthly, some don't. It would be nice if we could get them together and say, could you commit a couple of hours to this event? Like I said, many hands make light work. So the more people who sign up, the less time we're going to need to have them be there at the event. Because if we're going to do fireworks again, this is going to be an event that is going to start early in the morning and is going to run well into the night beyond when the fireworks are over and the cleanup's being done.
So if you do sign up, how do you manage that? I mean, how do you hold those people accountable for,
Well, it's a
kind of-
risk we took. Even now, we had people who signed up to be volunteers, either through, Key Club, Honor Society, and some of them didn't come. And then we just sort of shuffled people around. We shuffled staff around as we needed to.
So
But
I
I
love
think
the idea of the committees, actually saying, okay, Park and Recs, this day, all of us are Autumn Fest committee that day. And so, what that looks like in, I'm going to say the seniors, I think I wasn't there because I was away, but we had a table. We may not need to have a table, but we could definitely put our hands all over the,
Well, yeah, like
whatever
it
needs
might
to
be
be
more
done.
fun for them to work at the scarecrow
Exactly,
table,
with
like
the
actually
kids or
be involved,
something,
not
yeah.
just here's our senior table.
Right.
you know.
I love that idea, the
Okay.
committees.
All right, then I will talk to the staff and then I'll report back to you on that discussion. Because I really think too, you are going to be the final arbiters of whether you like the direction we're going in or not, so, I can go and talk to a committee, but even if they're all for it, I'm still going to come to you and say, what are your thoughts? This is your community, you're representing them, what do you think about this?
And we might really get some good buy-in with signing up for it because, I mean, I'm still hearing people talk about Autumn Fest.
Yeah.
So because it was so well done, it might be, oh my gosh, yeah, I want to volunteer for this. I want to be a part of it. So
I think we have a winning formula right now. I don't think we have to recreate a whole lot of new ideas. In fact, I think your point of saying maybe scale a few things back even, but to say, I do think, what we did was hit it right on the target this year. And using those resources more for assistance on day of, that's where it really will make a difference.
Okay.
Well, and it was completely staff driven. If we waited around for the committee to get this event going, we would have no event. So I don't
And we
think-
have to do things now. I know Angelina's getting a little nervous, like she wants to start locking things in, and I totally understand it because we are not the only community to do something in the fall. So the more we can get locked down and then know at least we've got, confirmation deposits made or whatever, then we can keep moving on. But I know, I'm pretty sure it's Eventbrite is the website that we've
Yeah.
used. And, it's almost like you just check off the box. You can use a drop down and see what's involved in it. And I think that would make it manageable for people. For somebody who always says, I wish I could do something for my community. Well, here's something you could do. Take a 2-hour shift and, help unload the vendors when they get there in the morning. And then your day is done. You can come back to Autumn Fest with your family, or you can go off to enjoy whatever else you have going on. But then you've participated in it.
Do we have a date in mind already for this year? We have something picked out yet, or?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Derek, is there anything you want to add while I don't mean to put you on the spot, but.
No, I think that all makes sense. The biggest thing for Angelina and myself as well is just knowing what we're going to be doing and how to proceed. Helpful to know that much.
Do we need to take any formal action to dissolve the Autumn Fest committee? since it is an official committee of the township?
I think I'd like to reach out to them first and tell them that we had this discussion tonight and the direction we're thinking things need to go in instead of just an action of the board. And then we can come back and.
That's nicer.
That's
Yeah.
a,
Because to the extent they want to stay involved, we could really still use the hand.
Absolutely.
They could be
Absolutely.
captains
Right.
of whatever it is, like, you know,
True.
give them a title that they can
Well, I know we had
put on
talked
the
about,
resume.
because it's so spread out, one of the ideas was putting a point person for each area instead of, so if there's a point person at the volunteer table, they can't also be, handling, somebody needing a break or hasn't had their lunch yet over, where the pumpkins and the scarecrows are. So, I think there's ways, just to, like anything else, there's always ways to refine it. We want to take something that was outstanding and do things behind the scenes that nobody in the front would even know we've changed anything, but it would just make it smoother for us and kind of give us a little bit more of a breather. It's pretty bad when they throw me in the parking lot to do traffic detail. Somebody wants to know who's the bossy woman at the bottom. It's like, guilty, and look out.
You do a good job.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're gonna also talk volunteer committee vacancies.
So I'm going to provide you in the next week with a list of the committees that Deb has. She keeps a master sheet, and it'll show where the vacancies are. We have had some people send resumes and applications in, either because they knew of a vacancy or just blindly they put their name in. My question is really for someone who sends the form in and has checked off multiple committees they're interested in. Do you want me to ask them first what their preferences are and then let you know that? Or do you want to look at the committees that have vacancies and determine what your priorities are in terms of filling the committee spots? And then, alerting the resident, like you said, you want to do park and rec board and you want to do this. Well, actually, we need somebody more on this right now. And since you've indicated you'd be willing to serve on it, so it's just a matter of who's driving the discussion when someone puts down multiple boxes. Right now, they're just check boxes, and maybe we need to change the form so that they can number it.
It was gonna be, yeah, is
Yeah.
there a way to change the form so that they could say first choice,
Mhm.
first preference?
There
second
is.
preference,
So you want it to be driven by the person who's offering to volunteer.
I think that makes
In
your
the
job
future.
easier.
Sure.
Like
Okay.
for now, I think I like to look at their resumes and see where we
Fine.
think they fit best, but I
Okay.
think for the future, definitely
Okay.
change the form.
All right. That's all I needed then.
Anybody have anything else? Well, thanks for humoring me with the Boy Scouts. I wanted to keep them awake.
That was fun.
That's good.
Uh-huh.
It was good. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.